Welcome back. So, this is your official first sponsorship class that you are taking. And if you have opted to take this class, then you're in for a treat. So, this is class number one. Class number one is going to go over your actual event. When you list your event, you have expectations from this event. Okay, so you are going to try to get people to partner with you in terms of bringing in things that relate to your event. You're also going to try to get people that want to support, sponsor your event, which is the main reason why I'm putting this class, because I wouldn't say that I'm the guru, but I've been able to sort of master how to get sponsors for my event. And so I'm going to use this opportunity to teach you guys through the 10 courses that you are going to have. And we listed them in the first class that you watched, which is my complimentary free class. It's like an intro, if do you want to take this class kind of deal, help you understand what you're getting. And the reason why it's important to list your event is so that you can sort of have a vision. When you write out what you're going to do and the kind of event you're going to have, there's certain people, names that come to mind, okay? If you are going to have a car show, okay? And this is just like in general, classic car show. I like those. I like classic cars. I've never put a classic car show event together. However, if it interested me, that I would need to do research after I've listed that event down in terms of who is this niche for? Who likes classic cars? Who wants to come here? Who am I going after? Who's going to support me on the back end? Who's going to show up at the door? What do they want when they show up? How much should they typically pay for this? This is the reason why the first thing you do is to list your event, because it will help you to understand what you need and who you need to be working with to get it. So take a minute, sit back, relax, grab a pen and a pad. We're going to go into your master event. Thank you for joining my masterclass. It's your host, Chi Chi Styles, and I'm teaching you how to get sponsored. Be right back after these messages. Welcome back. It's Chi Squared Styles, your MC. I think I am the best female Igbo MC. Igbo is a tribe from Africa, and we're rare people. Igbos are apparently like the Jews. This has nothing to do with your class, but you took notes anyways. So listing your event. Now, there are fine things that you have to make sure that you take with you in terms of listing your event, okay? Some of the first things that you're going to look at when you list an event is when you're going to have your event. So when you're going to have your event means everything to the event, okay? Because if you have an event that's slated on the same day as one of the biggest parades that happen in your city and state, then nobody's coming to your event because everyone's going to be at the parade, right? So you have to make sure that one of the first things you do concerning your event is map out your dates and why, okay? So when I taught this class last year, and the reason why I have people, return customers coming back and referring people to me is because one of the first things we did was to break down your day. Break down who's coming that weekend, who's going to be in town the day before, who's going to be in the town day after, who's going to be doing something that morning if you have a night event, who's going to be having something that night if you have a morning event, if you have a breakfast event. And the reason why I'm going to go into that is grab your pen and paper, because you're going to need to write this down, is your audience, okay? You don't put an event together for just yourself, for you and your mama them and your cousin them and your neighborhood them to show up. You put an event for your community, okay? It's one of the things we're going to talk about in the list of the 10 classes you're going to get. We're going to talk about your community, okay? Why this event is important to your community. But when you list your event, you want to make sure that the date goes with your people, who's going to come, right? So what are some of the basic things you want to look at when you list the event? First of all, what is happening that week in relation to your event, okay? I wrote a book recently with 18 women, and my topic was domestic abuse. The perfect month to have done that book in my town was October. It's a domestic abuse awareness month. So the reason being is I will meet and relate with other people within my community that are doing something similar that month. So either guests that are coming to speak, either the universities locally are doing something in relation to domestic abuse awareness, shelters and businesses are giving back and donating and doing cool things to help support the movement. And I would not be out of place if I threw my event around that same time without disrupting other people that will be organizing with me. When you're trying to put a team together, which is number 4, which we'll get to in our 4th class, you want to go back to number 1, your event, listing your event, the date and time, who else will be there, who's part of your team. Are these people coming from out of town because they're doing something similar to you? Don't let the people doing something similar to you be like a setback. It's a setup for you. Just don't have it the same day and time. Have it either the day before, the day after. Coordinate with some people who are within your city and state, who are listing the same thing, have the same vision and goal. Attend their events because they're for sure coming to yours. And don't do it because, like, I'm not coming to your event, so you got to come to mine. Do it because you want to relate. You want to network. I'm big on networking. I'm part of one of the largest networking groups in the world, BNI. And I think BNI is valuable because of that networking piece that helps you connect. And you're looking at a team of people locally that will support you coming, but you also have to support their businesses. And that's where the sponsorship class comes in. Because what the sponsorship class will do, allow these people within your community of networking groups sponsor you. People who are interested, for instance, in my book, interested in supporting me will be interested in supporting the message about domestic abuse. Who hears about domestic abuse? Who's coming to see it? Who wants to support against it? Who wants to star rah-rah? Who wants to raise the flag to stop all domestic violence in the world? Those are the people who are going to attend my event, buy tickets, sport, be at the door, bring food, whatever it takes to happen. So what I want to do is list the event around these people. Meaning I can't do it without them. I can't build my team without them. And I damn sure do not want to have it without knowing if the date messes up other people who are within the community. So look at your date. Look at the month in relation to the event you're doing. What does that month say to your event? Look at the time frame. In other words, again, I'm mentioning this. This is like the 3rd time I'm mentioning this in this particular first class, which is listing your event. What's happening the day before? Look at your local news bulletins. Some of these local magazines will have a news bulletin of what's happening this month. Look at your Eventbrite in your area. What's happening under Eventbrite in that area? Who's all coming to town with their show? What's happening at your local theater? What's happening at the local schools? These things and people are part of the people who will support, attend your event. They're going to be in town anyways. They already bought a ticket. They're there on a conference. What conferences are happening around that time? What conferences are happening that morning? And even if it has nothing to do with your event, you can always have a fine line there where it could somehow meet the need to either invite them, attend theirs, support theirs over the months leading up to yours, so that when that time comes, you let them know, hey, you're going to be in town for this event anyways. How about you get you and your people to come out to my event? Listing your event. Where do you want your event to be listed in terms of ticket sales? That's all really on you, because some people sell tickets on Eventbrite. Some people sell tickets on PayPal. Some people sell tickets on their website. There are many ways to sell Ticketmaster. Many, many ways to sell it. But always remember not to clash your event with other people who are hosting either something similar to yours, or even if they are, make sure that it's a day after, a day before. Remember, when you're bringing certain celebrities to your event, there's certain rules and regulations. Celebrity can't come to this city and then go to another city within 50 feet or 50 kilometers or some crappy. You have to get that information. But either way, you can't use the celebrity on Friday and then get the person within the next 30 days. You can't get them in another location that's kind of approximates certain kind of miles they can't come to. So you don't want to get in trouble with things like that. So make sure you really super research, because sometimes if a celebrity is coming to a certain neighborhood, they can also come to yours, right? So that makes it good that they're coming. It's going to save you money. You work with event planners, but always make sure that you coordinate and work with people. Bring them on to abort yours. You know, share some of the resources you have with your event. Share with them. Why not? Like, why not offer up, hey, listen, I have an event too. You're having yours. Why don't I partner with you? That way, as I'm bringing mine to fruition, I can help you bring yours to fruition, and we meet our goals because we're making sure that we take care of our local celebrity that's coming, speaking at your event and speaking to mine. So for instance, if I'm going to be in Philadelphia third weekend of Sunday and I'm MC, I'm a dope MC, like your event is going to be like, Jinjad, right? And so I'm coming Friday. I have no qualms about doing yours Saturday, you know, if I'm coming the same city and state. But if you're not connected with the person who's doing that event Friday that's happening in your area, you wouldn't even know I'm coming to town, which would benefit, which may even be cheaper because it's saving you both money or things like that. So it's all about really working with other people and knowing what is happening in your city and state, the time that you want to list your event, the time that you want to say that's the date. Try to book it months ahead of time. Beginning of the year now, best time to take this class, but at the same time, it's best time for you to prepare. It's best time your sponsors have money because you're listing earlier, having this event in the summer. If you were having an event in March, you should have been asking for sponsorship like since October, September of last year. So if you're having an event now, I have some people who are booking me now who have events in November. I'm going to have my event in December. I have it every year in December, a red carpet. And I'm working on the films and things I'm going to show then now. And so it's all about planning ahead of time, but making sure that you look at your list and how you're listing your event, how you're titling your event, how it's relating to what you're doing, why you're doing it, and who is going to attend. All that really depends on how you title things and how you list them, where you list them, and who you're working with to get that coordinated. So that's all that you're going to get from the first class. I really wanted my classroom to be like a 30-minute course where people got to maybe have that relation one-on-one with me. But I'm going to open an opportunity for you to ask questions about class number 1, which is really basically listing your event and preparing that event to be dope. It is in all how you listed, when you listed, and what season, okay? No one wants to have an outside event in the winter. No. In the spring, maybe. Even in the summer. We like a little sweaty situations, right? But we don't like... Nobody wants to bundle up. And even when we're shooting films as a filmmaker in the wintertime, we just can't wait to get in the inside scenes because it's so cold out. We like, cut the camera. We want to run inside. So it's all about time and season for your for listing your events. And you want to take that into consideration because you want the people who you're doing this event for to know that you care and that you are really putting this together for them, not for yourself. But to meet their goals and to make them comfortable, happy, and excited to come back the following year to continue to do this with you. It's also important for your sponsors to see how you're planning ahead of time. This is a good time to plan summer events, fall events, even early summer, spring events, a good time because you find those sponsors who can do the minimum amount, 500, 250. Those are super easy. They don't need to call corporate and all that to write you checks. You know, and I'll teach you a lot of things as you go through this class. So go ahead and get ready to click on class number 2 because class number 2, we're going to talk about the why. Okay. When we get to the why, you'll see why I talk about the why. Okay. Because the why is going to lead to the next class. It's all going to lead to the next class. And I really thought these were going to be 30-minute classes, but I'm going to save room for you to ask me questions, for you to email me. And eventually, after you've taken the 10 classes, if you do want to come back for me to fine tune, look at, give you some paperwork. There's some things that I've used that have gotten me checks. There's some paperwork that I have used. There's more fundraising, sponsorship, raising actual funds. And when I say raising actual funds, I'm talking about dollars, real dollars to get things done that you want to do. That is more of an extra consultation class. I would actually require for you to hire me on board so that I can sort of get deep into finding you funding. Now, when I talk about finding people funding, I'm talking about, I don't want to get too deep into that, but I'm talking about getting you money to enhance your goals, to develop that vision you have into something bigger. We're not just talking about an event. We're talking about turning what you're doing into something. Then you probably want me talking to you one-on-one. And when I begin to talk to you, I'm going to take what you're trying to do like this into this. And you're going to be like, whoa, I didn't think we could do that. But that's what I do. I just don't like things being small. That's why I'm wearing this shiny shirt, because I think life is about shine, and everyone has this beauty inside of them that God is ready. Not just God, your maker. Okay, because some people are not Christians on this platform, right? But you were made to shine in everything that you do. And I think bringing out your shine is comes out in your event. It comes out in your work. And if I'm going to work with you one-to-one and helping you raise funds, then I want you to be. I took a client who called me and was talking about $20 million on a project to eventually having them have $6 billion in mind. They haven't gotten the money yet, but the fact that they're talking about something that was almost impossible, they were like, wow. And by the time they finished, and the investor was like, yeah, we can do up to that. And it's not just because you want to have these big numbers, it's because if you don't dream it, it'll never happen. You actually have to desire and want what is available to you, and then go after it legally and get it. That's how you get it, okay? Because you want it. So I hope my event class and sponsorship class is going to inspire you to begin to dream big, so you can actually fully hire me. Because if you hire me, that's when the good stuff is. I go extra mile. So I'm a sweetheart. So I'll go extra mile to make sure that you begin to see bigger, you begin to dream bigger, and you begin to live your bestest life. All right? So get ready to click on Classroom 2 to get that why together. Why? Why ask why? Because why has a long tail and 2 branches? That's not even a funny joke. I know. Just click on 2, and I'll see you guys in the next class. Mwah. It's Chi Chi Styles, your host, and I'm giving you an opportunity to dream big this season, from your event to the top. I'll talk to you guys in the next class. Bye. Peace.